Ever feel like your brain only really wakes up when the rest of the world is going to sleep? Well, it turns out you're not just a night owl with a quirky little habit. Today, we're going to dive into the fascinating psychology behind why some of the most complex minds do their absolute best work in the dead of night.
I mean, it's a pretty common experience, right? The house is finally silent, your phone has stopped buzzing, and then, boom, you suddenly have this level of clarity that you just couldn't find all day long. So, why is that? It turns out there's a really deep psychological reason for this late night brilliance. And this flips the whole script. Society usually labels this kind of late night thinking as a productivity problem or just a bad sleep schedule. But the psychological truth, it's so much more profound. It isn't a flaw at all. It's a specific cognitive state, one that's pretty much designed for deep, meaningful thought that often requires total solitude. Okay, so how do we get to that state? Well, it all starts with the environment. The quiet of the night isn't just about peace and quiet. It's about escaping the constant mental drain of our daytime lives. At the very core of this is your circadian rhythm. That's your internal body clock. For a lot of midnight thinkers, this internal clock is just not synced up with the standard 9 to 5 world. And this isn't just about when you feel sleepy. It's about when your brain is actually primed for its best performance. Just think about your day for a second. Your brain is under constant assault. You're navigating small talk, you're decoding endless social signals, filtering out background noise, and if you happen to have high social sensitivity, this is incredibly draining. By the time evening rolls around, your mind is just craving a break, not just from work, but from all that sensory and social overload. And that's the magic moment. The quiet isn't just empty space, it's recovery time. It's the moment your brain stops processing all the external chaos and starts connecting its own internal ideas. That's something that's nearly impossible to do during a hectic day. This brings us to a really important point. The mental activity that's happening late at night often gets mistaken for anxious overthinking, but it's actually something much more powerful and way more productive. The real term for this is cognitive complexity, and it's a hallmark of the midnight thinker's mind. It's this natural tendency not just to see the surface of an issue, but to examine every single angle, explore every possibility, and process all the little details that most people might completely overlook. And this is maybe the most crucial distinction to make. Cognitive complexity is not the same as anxious overthinking. Anxiety traps you in these repetitive, unproductive thought loops. Deep thinking, on the other hand, is fueled by an intellectual hunger, a real drive to find meaning and solve problems on a much deeper level. So what's actually physically happening inside your brain that allows for this sudden clarity and focus? Well, the science points to this really fascinating reward system that just thrives in the quiet of the night. Have you ever fallen down a research rabbit hole at midnight? Well, this is why. When you're finally alone, your brain's curiosity system kicks into high gear. Learning something new triggers a little dopamine reward, which, feels good. So your brain wants more of that feeling, and it enters this state of deep, focused obsession, just feeding itself with knowledge. At the exact same time, your brain waves are literally changing. During the day, you're dominated by beta waves. That's your active, alert, get stuff done mode. But at night, you shift into alpha waves. This is a relaxed, reflective state. It's where your creative and problem-solving networks finally get a chance to light up and play. Nighttime also offers this powerful sense of psychological safety. If you have to be on all day, it can feel like you're putting on a constant performance. The silence of midnight becomes a sanctuary. It's the only time you can truly let your guard down and just be in command of your own thoughts. Okay, so what does all of this mean for you? It means it's time to stop seeing your late-night thinking as a problem and start seeing it for the powerful tool that it actually is. Let that one sink in for a second. Your mind isn't broken. It's just wired for a depth and a complexity that the constant noise of the day simply drowns out. So let's reframe this whole thing. Your midnight thinking, it's a sign of a powerful, complex mind. It's a clear signal that you need mental space. It's evidence of a deep hunger for knowledge, and most importantly, it is a feature of how you are wired, not a flaw that needs to be fixed. So instead of fighting it, embrace it. The quiet of the night is your mind's natural habitat. And the only question left is, what will your mind discover tonight?